What is up, everybody? My name is Braxton Chapman. I put the mic on the gun. That's crazy. Don't worry, it's not loaded. Okay, we're empty. All clear. So, today I wanted to talk about my love for guns. And I don't normally make video content about guns. This is actually probably one of the first videos you'll see on this channel about guns. And believe it or not, this is my first gun, which is a CG Shadow 2 Compact. Obviously, that is an expensive purchase, but it's what I wanted, it's what I got. And we're gonna talk about it today. All right, enough of that. We're gonna put that down. Anyway, I should really clip this. I don't want the audio to keep going in and out. For all you newbies out there, I'm not really a gun tuber, you could say, but I do have a love for guns just like you. By the way, my place is a mess. Me and my fiance, we just moved. We're over here in Texas, Irving area. I'm not gonna tell you the exact address because I know there's a lot of creepy people out there, but I kind of want to tell you the address just to see if you creep enough to come by in the wrong way. Anyway, probably should cut that out. Anyway, so a little bit about me, if you don't mind me sharing 30 seconds about myself. I'm a very ordinary guy. I'm not prior military. I'm not like training every single day. You know, I don't have all the money in the world to just go buy ammo and shoot 1,000 rounds per day. That's not the kind of guy I am. I just have a passion for sports, cameras, and guns. Those three things. So that's kind of what this channel is going to be about. Played baseball half my life. Went to college. I played at Cameron University in Oklahoma. I'm 28 years old now. I'm getting married this Friday. Other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it about me. I also started a business called All Season, but we'll talk about that more at the end of the video. I wanted to introduce my thoughts on the CG Shadow 2 Compact and why you should and shouldn't get one. Now, this video isn't very well structured, so I'm gonna just kind of go off the top of my head. First thing I want to say is I love this gun. I really do. And oh shit, I love this gun. I really do. Okay. That's how you know I'm a newbie. Okay. Point is that, but I do have my gripes about it. And so we're gonna try to just knock this out. With my Shadow 2 Compact, you'll notice that I changed the grips, okay? I put some skateboard tape or just like rough tape you can find at Home Depot. It comes in a little red box. And I cut it to shape with the actual aluminum grips that come with the CG Shadow 2 Compact, all right? On this side, I did the same thing. I had the whole thing covered at first, right? Hear me out. But when I was carrying it, this right here was rubbing up against me. If you're staring at my little spot right here, that's from a bullet. I got kissed by a bullet, you know, when the shell casing comes out, hits the side of the wall and then burns you when it gets stuck in your glasses. So that's what that is. It's not a birthmark or a teardrop tattoo removal, but hey, you know. So yeah, it was rubbing up against my side. So what I did is I shaved it all off and just put grip right there. And it actually works out really well with exactly where I put my hand, right? Now, I also put grip right along the trigger guard. There was some right here, I took it off, but I like putting grip right there. So when I'm running a competition, right, I'll rest my finger right there. You know, like when I'm running around, moving around, I'll put my finger right there. If it feels rough, I know it's in the right spot to move, right? If it feels soft, then I'm like, I need to lift it up, okay? You know, or lift it down, you know. It just should not feel soft anywhere. It should always feel rough. That's my kind of mental psychology right there. Then once my finger rests right there, I'm running, okay? Now, the way I grip the gun is like this. I put this finger over. It's not something I was trained to do, it's just something I naturally did. Now, honestly, I like shooting both, right? I like shooting both. Sometimes I put my hand there, sometimes I put there, but like consistently when I'm drawing, it's usually always right there. So with that said, I'm not trying to flash you, brother or sister. I put some grip tape right here just for that reason. So I know that, oh, clear, you know, I'm ready to go. I feel very good. Awesome. Other things is, oh yeah, the grip tape right here on the side. I don't know what that was. The thing is, I put grip tape here on the side for my thumb. You know, that's how I like to rest my thumb. Good stuff there. And then other than that, grip on the front. Nice. This is more wore down. I had to cut it into triangular pieces to really fit the corners really well. But it honestly looks pretty cool. Rough because I've been using it, but yeah, it looks really cool. I did have grip tape here, but I took it off because, I mean, it was nice. It has this rough part over here, but I wanted like some more grip. But I went ahead and took it off over time, just trying something new. I liked it. Now I'm just trying this out to see what happens, right? Other than that, the only other things I changed about this gun was the hammer spring. I got a hammer spring from Cajun Gun Works. I believe it's a 13 pound, whichever one. It's the blue one. I don't know what pound weight it was. I just wanted to try that. And then I got some forward irons from Ben Stoker's website because I live in Texas and that their headquarters is in Texas, Austin. I always buy from there because shipping is super fast. I got an RMR up top. This is just I don't know what version this is, the RM06, which fits really well with the gun. I'd say it looks really handsome on the gun. I have the ordinary trigger spring in here. I had the reduced power trigger spring in here. I didn't like it. It felt like whenever you pull the trigger and then when it was going back, it would get stuck right there. Like literally when you have the reduced power trigger in here, reduced power trigger spring in here, it would just get stuck right there. And I would have to like, you know, click it, you know, move it forward. Now, granted, I actually didn't get to shoot with the reduced power trigger spring. I would argue that with it, if you were shooting, you know, though it is soft coming forward, that recoil and all the moving around the action would make it come forward. But if you're just dry firing, I did not like it. I really didn't like it, so I kept it out. I put a slave pin in there so it's easier to do a takedown. What else we got going on? I had a heavy trigger return spring in here last week. I actually broke it trying to take it out. Now that heavy trigger return spring really did what it was supposed to do. It made the double action heavy, which was really nice. But what I really wanted was the single action to be heavy. I wanted a more refined break, right? But I did some more research and I realized I need to put a different spring inside of these for the sear. Use a sear spring. I'm gonna try that, see what happens. I'm no expert here, guys. You can tell me in the comments. Boost the algorithm, give me some comments, whatever. But I'm gonna try a heavier sear spring. I think it's from CZ Parts. I'm not sure, but it's a 0.8. And then I'm also going to get the Cajun Gun Works. It's a sear that is adjustable sear spring, right? To see if that gives a more defined wall, you know, so it's like, you know, really more defined. I want a little bit more pressure, a little bit more weight before it just breaks. Because although this is not that sensitive, I just like more of a defined wall, like your old school 45s. You know, you pull it back, there's a wall, and it's just bang, 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 like tack, 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 tack. You know, I shoot sometimes better with my friend's 45 than with this, just because of that one reason. I love that feeling. Don't get me wrong, this is nice, but I do want a more defined wall. Other than that, that is pretty much it. I had some other grips for this gun. It was Vital Manufacturers. They make amazing grips. It was the Palm Swell Krakens in all black, and I have them. I'll make another video about that later. But I went back with the thins because I noticed that when I am transitioning, I felt like my draws when I'm transitioning. Stop dodging, man. I'm not gonna shoot you. Yeah. Anyway, when I'm transitioning to target and my draws, I feel like I was quicker with the, hold on. That's Mama. Hey, Mama.
Hey, honey. Miss Lorna came by earlier to, kind of help look at some things, or got some suggestions, which is good.
Oh.
So we can look at that.
Wedding stuff.
But she also said that she's got a friend that's a DJ that that owes her a favor. She said, I'm gonna see if he can come do it. And I said, well,
Aw.
yeah, but I mean, she just can ask. So if you still want me to check, see if she can ask him, that person?
I mean, sure. I mean, if the DJ wants to come by, he can eat, and we'll probably, man, I don't know, give him $100 or something, maybe.
Yeah,
But
that's what I was thinking, like
go,
maybe something like that.
yeah,
Because I told her 700. She's like, oh. And I told her, I said, yeah. She said, well, you know what? I got a friend that'll open pay. I said, well, I mean, yeah, we probably give him 100 or something like that. That's exactly what I told her.
yeah,
I can see if she can check with him, and stuff.
yeah.
But otherwise, we still need to work on that. And y'all got a couple more boxes here today.
Yeah, I know. We need to swing by. We'll go over there and check it out.
Just-
But let me call
That's
you.
okay. I mean, yes, no worries. Okay, all right. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye. Forgot to say I love you. God dang it. If you're not saying I love you to you, hold on. Hold on.
Hey, Brad.
Sorry, Mom. Forgot to say I love you.
Oh, I love you too. No problem.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, bye.
If you got your mom still around, if her name, your mom's name still comes up on your phone, you're blessed. So you should be saying I love you to her, especially if she's calling you. Be grateful for that. Anyway, where was I at? Yeah, I like the thinner grips because I feel like it makes the gun lighter. The thicker the grip, it makes the gun heavier. It's not actually making the gun heavier, maybe a tad bit, right? But for me, it's like playing baseball. When I swung a thick ass gripped bat, like the handle is thick as hell on a bat, it felt good when you swing it, you practice hacking it, but then when you get in the game, it's like, man, you know what? Actually, I can't manipulate this bat as much as I want. I'm not able to whip it as much as I want, right? So I always stuck with the thinner bats, no homo. I don't know if I'm supposed to say no homo for that. Anyway, so that always made sense for me. With this one, I went back to the thins. I love it. It works best for me. Okay, next up is, why I went with the forward irons. I went with the forward irons because sight picture. If it was up to me, I actually should have put an SRO in here because I feel like this is perfect for carry, but for competition, the window is a tad small. If you're on the fence between getting yourself a gun of this size for competition and deciding between an SRO and an RMR, get the SRO. There you go. Right. If you're gonna carry it a lot, if you're gonna run around with it a lot, maybe you're exploring a lot, then get the RMR. Obviously, you're shooting animals, stuff like that, or something like that. I don't know. Get the RMR. Just get the SRO for everything else. If you're lightly carrying it, you're not carrying it that often, but you're more likely will just shoot it at home. Shoot it at a competition. Then get the SRO. You'll thank me later. People say that they break easily, and they do, but I don't know you, but I don't think if you're not going to be that rough with it, you're not going to break it. You'll be all right, okay? But the forward irons, the reason why I went to forward irons is because I feel like, as far as sight picture, it was nice to just see the dot instead of the irons first and then the dot. I know people say if you train properly, that shouldn't happen. But for me, I think it looks cool. And I noticed that Staccato did that with their new HDP4. So Staccato may be onto something with that. There has to be a valid reason why they did that, right? So I did deeper research and realized that it is a nicer thing to be able to look through the sight first and see the dot and see the target. You don't want to see the dot. You're trying to look past all of this to the target, right? But it just helps more when the irons are in front and not in the back, obscuring my vision for me. And that's another thing I need to remind you folks is when you watch people who give gun reviews, you got to understand that some people will shoot a $200 gun or even what's a good gun? That's like, some people will say what Glock clone that just came out, the RXM, they'll shoot better with that than they do with this. They'll swear like, oh, this is the best gun, it's the best gun in the world, right? But other people will say like, no, that gun sucks. Like, this is the best gun. Well, it's what works best for you, okay? We want to get to a point where we can shoot any gun really well, right? That's the goal. I think Ben Stoker is a good example of that. He's always switching guns. He's always trying different things. Now, sure, Bruce Lee method, you know, practice one kick 1,000 times, one gun 1,000 times, great. I mean, but hey, if you want to be John Wick, like, learn to shoot any gun, you know, have fun, right? It's not like we're out here hunting people like John Wick. So if you have an opportunity to shoot a gun that you haven't shot before, shoot it, you know, have fun with it. Because I really like that RXM. I think for me, it's literally the perfect gun. Even though I love this, that RXM is damn near the perfect gun for anything and everything. For it being a Glock clone. I don't shoot Glocks well, but I shoot that one well. You know what I'm saying? So things that I don't like about this gun. Let's get to it. The things I don't like, it's going to be very common. I don't like the long pull, okay? I'm pretty freaking accurate in the single action. But this long double action, I'm just not good at. And it is a very smooth double action. Now, I still haven't had the parts smoothened out by Cajun Gunworks. I still haven't had the reduced trigger pull, like the reduced trigger, bring the double action closer. It brings the double action closer. You can do that. There's a lot of things I still haven't done to make that double action better. But just know if you get this gun, that first shot is a really long pull, and you have to keep your hand steady. I mean, you can probably see me, even after 1,000 rounds, I still shake the gun a little bit more than I want to. And it always either puts me at 15 yards, 4 or 5 inches off the target that I wanted to hit. And that's completely embarrassing for me, in my opinion. Single action, no problem. You can damn near throw an apple in the air and I probably hit it. But it don't mean shit if I can't get that first shot off where I need it to go. All right. And half cock, which is the way I carry this, is it's honestly, if that was a double action, it'd be a lot more easier to be on target. I'm pretty confident in half cocked as far as 10, 15, 20 yards hitting where I needed to go. It's obviously a much shorter distance. So if I was to do this real quick, it comes back, right? So hold on, let me do this. Here's the take up. If I put this in half, it brings it a little bit, right? But look at how much more take up there is. And I don't mind take up. Take up's okay. I don't care about take up as far as this gun. But what I do see here is that, see what at you don't call this the wall, you just call this I call this like the heavy point, where it starts at. It's so close to where it goes off at. It's much closer than double action, where you start here is where you start at. You gotta pull through it all the way. So if I can do that Cajun Gunworks, bring the trigger closer in double action, I'm sure it'll be a lot better gun for me. That along with the heavier seal spring, cool. But other than that, everything else is pretty solid. Has not malfunctioned on me once. I've shot this gun, I think I've given it about 1,400 rounds. Has not malfunctioned me once. And that's incredible. And that's baby numbers too. I've had this gun for a few months now and I've only shot it 1,400 rounds. Like if I could, I'd shoot this 1,000 rounds a day and literally try to break it. I want to break this gun. That is my goal when using this gun. I want to break it. I dry fire this thing so much. When I shoot it, I try to shoot the hell out of it. I want to break this gun. I want to put it through the most abuse that I can possibly put it through. Because I love CZ, I respect CZ, and I want to see what it can do. I want to CZ what it can do. Yeah, other than that, everything's flawless. Oh, before I go, I highly recommend, if you get this gun, highly recommend. Oh, yeah, safety. That's something that other people complain about, is the safety. Yes, it's flimsy. Not flimsy, it's just thin. It's kind of useless, but when I carry it, sometimes I put the safety on, sometimes I don't. And it's not difficult to put the safety on. I think people who complain about it, they're just looking for something to complain about. You can put an extended safety if you want on there. It's about $100 off of Cajun Gunworks. But just for me, I carry it with the no safety, half cocked, and works just fine. I don't worry about that safety. Especially, you really want to be careful about extended safeties too, because it really comes down to your grip, you know? For some people, they put their thumb on that safety. They put their thumb on it when they have that extended. For me, you know, the way I shoot, I don't need that, you know, safety. I don't care. As long as it's not moving, like, it's still tactile enough. Like, as long as it's not dancing while I'm shooting, I don't really care. It works just fine. You do have to break your grip a little bit to reach that slide stop. So you do have to break your grip a little bit, but once you break the gun in, it gets a lot easier. That's for sure. At first it was hard, but once you break it in, it gets a lot easier. The way I do it, you know, I usually have the gun, you know, either this way or that way whenever I'm breaking it. So if I'm breaking my wrist, these fingers will kind of come up and the thumb can reach it better, and I slide it forward just like that. So yeah. But what I was going to get to end off this video is I highly recommend you take the magazines and get the Vital base pads. What that does is it creates this little hook. That makes a big difference, especially with the thinner grips and moving around. It locks your hand in. Pair that with the palm swells, it's a sexy ass, it feels like sex in your hand. You know, it just feels so good. But I like the thins, but I still kept the pads because it just really makes that pinky lock in. Really makes it lock in. So I highly recommend that over the original base pads, which are still really nice, but they're, you know, they don't have that hook. They don't have that hook. They just cut off about right there. And so, yeah, it depends on the person, but you know. Very last thing, I promise. It is really hard to get these magazine releases off. I fucked up. I actually stripped this screw. I don't know what CZ put in there. Red. They might have used red, the forbidden red. But it is stuck in there, and I stripped the hell out of this screw, and I got to go spend money to go get that screw out, which I don't need to or care to because I do like the blue of it, so I'm keeping that. Other than that, everything else is it's a great gun. It's a great gun. Love it. Absolutely love it. Very confident in it. Just got to get more used to that double action. Fucking love this gun. So if you're on the fence about getting it, get it. If you have a chance to shoot it, I always tell people to shoot the guns first. Always shoot the guns first, because that double action really may just put you in a bind. It may put you in a situation of realizing, dang, I just spent $1,400 and I can't hit the paper at 10 yards because of this double action. And you really can't do much about it besides just get better at it, right? And people will say all the time, like, oh, if you can shoot a double action, single action gun, you know, you'll be able to shoot anything. You'll be really good. That's great, you know. But I bought the gun to become great with the gun, you know, as well as anything. But if I shoot better with the little P365, I'm gonna shoot that gun. And in some situations, I do shoot better with that gun than this gun. So with that said, it's not about how much you spend. You know, shoot what feels right. Thank you so much for tuning in this first video. This was a long one. If you stuck around this whole time, I appreciate you. I'm a nobody, but if you want to see this somebody make more content, post more content, give it a like, subscribe, and yeah. Also, if you're a parent whose son or daughter plays sports, I'm also the founder of allseason.io. What the platform does, it allows you to connect with college athletes for training lessons in their off season. If you go to allseason.io, click on any athlete on there, whatever sport. We're growing, we just launched, but the athletes that are available, you can see their times and you can book them for a training session. Now, it is being updated every single week. It's only going to get better. I imagine that this is going to be a very wonderful thing for college athletes. So I built this also for the parents so that you can see your kids perform or train with the athletes performing at the schools you would like to see your kids play at. I wish I had this when I was playing. So anyway, check it out when you can. Bye.